today to talk about the latest issues in Bohol. Iba't ibang uri ng issue at sa iba't ibang lugar. And for some of sort of interviews done with our team, which is there are a lot of suicide cases happening in the area. So ano kaya ang mga rason kung bakit nagagawa ito ng mga tao na mag-commit ng suicide? So mga kapatid, this is a very serious matter to talk about. So we have to invite an expert to answer our questions. Help me welcome Dr. Yana, a psychologist in St. Luke's in Manila. Good afternoon, Doc.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for inviting me in Baitang Tambayan, your show. Thank you.
It's our pleasure here. It's a pleasure, Doc, to invite you here.
Thank you.
So, Doc, bakit
Yes.
po ba ang mga tao ngayon ay nagko-commit ng suicide?
Suicide, suicide are impulsive acts due to, kasi marami ang mga problema. Kasi like, may problema siya sa family, sa school, or even in their relationship. Sa school, marami talagang cases na mga estudyante ang nagko-commit sa suicide. Kasi bullying kasi sa paralan. Kaya nag-commit sila ng suicide. Marami ding mga suicide dahil na nangyari sa mga malaking tao na, yung may edad na, yung mga alcoholic, yung mga addicts, kasi wala na sila sa katinuan. Suicide is the act of intentionally causing its own death. Mental disorders, including depression, bipolar disorder, personality disorders, and substance abuse, including alcoholism. Sabi ko na kanina, alcoholism. Kasi sa alcohol, kapag lasing na, wala na sa katinuan, kaya nagkukumit sila ng suicide. Okay. May problema, katulad ng mga tao, pag may problema, umiinom sila. Tapos, pag tapos ng inuman, lasing na, wala sa katinuan, nagkukumit sila ng suicide.
Doc, may tanong pa ako. Gano'n na po kagrabe ang suicide cases dito sa ating ngayon?
According to World Health Organization at sa DOH ng Philippines, for every suicide, there are many more people who attempt suicide every year. A prior suicide attempt is the single most important risk factor for suicide in the general population. So close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year. Marami-rami din yan, 800,000. Ingestion of kasi mga uri ng mga ginagamit nila, mga cases lang naman. Ingestion of pesticide, hanging, and firearms are among the most common methods of suicide globally. Yan ang mga parating lang ginagamit, yung mga baril, hanging in the trees, or kaya yung mga ginagamit lang ng extension wires. 79% of global suicides occur in low and middle income countries. So, nagkasabi na, in low income countries like in the Philippines, dito sa Pilipinas, marami kasing walang pera, kaya yung mga estudyante walang pambayad sa school, kaya depressed, maraming problema, kaya nagkukumit sila ng suicide. Suicide does not just occur in high income, hindi lang sa mga merong maraming income na countries, but in a global phenomenon in all regions in the world. In fact, over 79% of global suicides occurred in low and middle income countries in 2016, according sa Wikipedia. Suicide is a serious public health problem. Very serious na ito. However, suicides are preventable with timely, evidence-based, and often low-cost interventions. For national responses to be effective, a comprehensive, multi-sectoral suicide prevention strategy is needed. Kaya, dapat talagang mapagmatsyag kasi yung mga pamilya nila kung meron ba problema yung kanilang anak para ma-prevent nila ito. Tsaka, Suicide is the third leading cause of death in 15 to 19 years old teenager kasi uh, parating nagkukumit sa suicide kasi nga uh, depressed sila, merong mga problema kaya marami kasi because of their emotions and feelings. Dahil madali lang silang madala sa kanilang mga emosyon. Kasi katulad ng feelings sila, like breakups, di ba? Yung may shota sila, tapos may nakitang iba. Yung nagkukumit sila ng suicide.
So, Doc, since you are talking about emotions and feelings, ano po ang pinagkakaiba ng dalawa?
There's a distinction between emotions and feelings. Despite both being interchangeably used and discussed in various contexts. While emotions is a biological experience and response, feelings have been defined as the mental portraits of what is going on in your body when you have an emotional and is byproduct of your brain perceiving and assigning meaning to the emotion. In other words, feelings are subjective experiences that frame in the interpretation of emotions. Emotions are physiological. Feelings are subjective since they are based on personal beliefs and experiences. In making a particular decision, aside from using logical and reason in deliberating about the court, we ask ourselves,
So, Doc, how can we read someone's emotions?
uh, an important aspect of understanding self is acknowledging the presence of emotions. Emotions serve as driving force in how one acts and behaves. Emotions play a part in making decisions, embracing certain lifestyles, and relating others. However, in defining them, and for some people, there is also difficulty in controlling them. However, this is not to say that emotions rule over one's rationally and become the sole basis of his or her decisions. As important point in remember is that every individual is expected to have the capacity to manage his or her emotions.
Okay, Doc, how can we control our emotions?
How? We can control our emotions if we have an emotional intelligence enough. Because being an emotional intelligence, we can take advantage about the problems like suicide or any problems like depression, stress, so that we can manage that. The suicide cannot exist.
Ano po yung emotional intelligence, Doc? Ngayon ko pa lang yung narinig.
Uh, According to Mayer, Salovey, and Caruso in 2004, it is one ability to understand emotion and for them to contribute in how one perceives the environment he or she is in. Emotional intelligence includes one's capacity to regulate emotions and be emotionally aware, which is helpful on one's emotional and intellectual growth. For Goldman, in 1998, it is the capacity for recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves and for managing emotions effectively in ourselves and others. Emotional intelligence is an aggregate result of both innate individual characteristics and skills people acquire and develop throughout their lifetime. So, managing emotion is an ability, and an ability is something that is learned. In regulating emotions, the capacity to be sensitive of one's emotions and those of others is also developed for self-understanding and maintaining healthy interpersonal relationships. Lastly, emotional intelligence is a requirement for one's overall well-being and hence can translate to effective functioning in all aspects of one's life. So, according to research, has supported the positive impact of emotional intelligence in a variety of settings. It has been seen to have positive effects on thinking abilities during anxiety-provoking testing conditions and enables students to obtain good scores. It is also negatively correlated to aggressive and delinquent behaviors. Students who have been assessed to have high emotional intelligence have good social relationships with their peers and teachers and are unlikely to break rules. People with high emotional intelligence manifest high social competence in dealing with different problems. Uh, in a workplace, emotional intelligence or EQ is said to be more important than IQ. Employees with emotional intelligence achieve corporate success and exhibit flexibility skills in dealing with superiors, colleagues, and subordinates. Such employee also to be goals and advocacy of their companies. They are also seem to be effective leaders and agents of change. Emotional intelligence uh, also influences well-being and life satisfaction. Emotionally intelligent people are not likely to develop depression and anxiety, hence effectively coping with problems and other challenges since they are able to manage their emotions. The results of various research have highlighted the importance of emotional intelligence for all individuals. Uh, the application of emotional intelligence can be seen in the different aspects of our daily life. At home, emotions are managed in dealing with the family members. At school, emotions are regulated, socializing with classmates and teachers, as well as motivating oneself in fulfilling his or her academic tasks. Effectively regulating emotions also has positive effect on one's career goals as emotional intelligence is a crucial criteria companies and organizations consider as assessing employment suitability. Emotional intelligence research has also produced a number of self-reports and assessment tools to measure EQ levels in specific individuals. So, yun nga.
Ganyan po, Doc. Kaya po dati po talaga ng emotional intelligence, Doc.
Talaga napaka-importante. Kaya dapat lang malaman ng lahat ng tao para maiwasan natin ang mga suicide.
Yes, Doc. So, yun nga po mga kapatid. We need to be aware of our emotions and feelings and be emotionally intelligent. So, Doc, salamat, Doc.
Thank you for inviting me in your show.
You're welcome, Doc. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.